Hey, I'm sitting in LA traffic. The on-ramp for the 101 off Melrose is closed. Now I'm on Vermont, and it's just horrible. Which brings me to how poorly this city's run. I voted yesterday, so I do the mail-in ballot. I've been doing that for decades, I suppose, here in LA. And I was filling it out yesterday, and obviously I know who I'm voting for president and all that, and for some of the other stuff. But just like you, right? You get your ballot, and it's going to be local elections as well. And I don't know what's going on with that. So I read through, and I selected the choices based on somewhat political party, but more so like things that weren't going to raise taxes, because I've just lived long enough to see so many proposed programs where we're told it's going to do this or that for us, and it never does. And that's a problem. So anytime it's like, oh yeah, we're proposing this thing, it's going to cost X amount. No more. So I'm getting a phone call coming in at the same time here, which I'm going to ignore. But there was a section, so it was the third ballot, middle row, and these were all votes for local judges, right? And there's 4 separate elections, and I don't remember what they all are exactly, but it's like, judge for the 109th district, judge for the 38th district, whatever these things are. I don't know who these people are, never heard of them before. So I go on the computer and I type their names in, and I'm looking them up. And what I learned, again, ballot 3, I don't know I guess it's the California ballot, maybe it's the LA County ballot. Again, I don't know what the difference is. I suppose, yes, obviously if you live in San Luis Obispo or San Francisco, you're going to have different stuff on there. That would make sense. But what I do is I look these people up, and they don't have, like, if you wanted to vote based on political party, if that's your proclivity, usually you have a choice. You can say, I'm going to vote red or I'm going to vote blue. Right? I'm not judging you for voting either way. This is just a conversation about this. What I looked up these people, in all 4 of those elections, both of the candidates were Democrats. Now, they don't say that necessarily, but what you do is you look at endorsements. Who's endorsing that person? And what I noticed was, what I discovered, was that they were all endorsed by the same people. And they were all being endorsed by, SCIU and La Raza and the Democratic Party and that sort of thing. So, and I'm not going to knock that. If that's your thing, you're a Democrat, that's fine. But the point that I'm making is, it's a false choice. You don't have a choice when you vote on that. You don't. Regardless of which one of those people you're voting for, they're going to vote for the policies that are leftist. That's just how that is, right? So, that's a problem, man. So what I did was, the third choice you have is a write-in thing. So that's what I did. So for each one of those, I did a write-in where I selected a person, and I thought, trying to weave myself into the traffic here. Always stick your arm out and give them the little thumbs up and thank you sign. People will let you in. Multitasking. Am I weaving my conversation again? So I just thought it was funny, and I did a short on it. Where I showed it, and I showed it in long form. And let me just show that to you right now, because I think you guys might get a kick out of it. So I'm doing write-ins here on this ballot, these 4 different things here for judges here in Los Angeles, because when I looked them up, they're all on one side. You guys get a kick out of the last one here, the ShamWow guy, who I know is not alive anymore. But because when I look them up, if they're both being supported by the same people, basically, well, then there's no change. That vote doesn't matter. because they're all going to do what they're told to do. And we know the city's been run into the ground now by poor decisions from this one particular side. So in this case, on the ballot in here, I mean, you can't win on that one. So that's just me putting it out there. It's crazy, man. It's great. You really don't have a choice in this row on the ballot. I hope you got a laugh out of that. Like I was trying to think of like anybody else that's actually in the political realm because I didn't know I was going to do that. I was filling out the ballot, doing my thing as a patriotic, you know, red-blooded American, as you should do. And I'm trying to inform myself and be informed and pick the people that I think support my values and what I would like to see happen. And I think it's pretty obvious that we need some radical change at this point. And the only names I could come up with off the top of my head were, like I said, I don't even know because I'm recording this the next day. And I didn't look at that video before I just shared it with you. But there's like Vince Vaughn and John Voight, the ShamWow guy, who I know is dead. But then I talked to Patricia. You guys might remember her. I spoke with Patricia this morning, and she pointed out that in Nevada they voted for a dead guy and that the state got grief for that. But she pointed out that the reason they did it was so that if he won, that seat would end up being held by a Republican. And that was important to the people that voted that way in the state of Nevada. And that makes sense. Why would I call Patricia? Well, look, I called Patricia this morning because there's a pretty good chance I'm going to go to Tacopa on November 2nd. It's getting a higher percentage now. I'm not interested in doing now, of course, if I go and you show up and you hate me because of the way I vote, put them up, buddy. Put up your dukes. I'm not fighting anybody over that. You can have your own opinion. I always think it's funny when you put your opinion out there on things and then people are so irked by it that they got to give you shit for it. That's crazy. That's insane. Because I didn't grow up in that world. I grew up in a world where you could be like, I voted for this guy, I voted for the other guy. Oh, okay. Fine. What are we doing tonight? We're going to go out and have some beers and you know, have a good time? Like, you could still be friends with those people. Today, not letting it happen. And it's not the right, guys. It's the left people. I'm not seeing the hate. I see the media report hate. Everybody who, and I'm not a Republican, by the way. Not pulling that fucking party line either. There's enough crazy stuff going on over there. But in my world, the world I see of people getting along, I'm not seeing people that are going to vote for Trump necessarily, but just for the sake of this conversation, berating people in public and giving people shit and keeping people down. I'm not seeing that. As somebody who puts it out there that I'm voting that way this time, I'm getting grief from people that are on the left for doing so. So it's that side that's doing it. It's very strange. But anyhow, I called Patricia to talk to her because if I'm going to be there in Tacopa, I might as well go over to Pahrump. And for those of you that don't know, Patricia was married to this guy, George, real nice guy, and who I'd met before one time last year at the Tacopa thing. And he has a YouTube channel, a pretty big following, something like 100, he's probably close to 150,000 subscribers, 140-something thousand subscribers. It's called Iridium 242. It's basically a prepper-based channel where he reviews gear. And he would get these battle boxes in. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. You sign up, it's X amount of money a month, and you get this package. It's like Christmas every month, and you open it up, and it's got gear in it. Sponsor gear from different companies, and it's usually pretty good stuff. Well, George passed away, and matter of fact, I was at the services this past summer in Pahrump, and that was the day Trump got shot. And that was a crazy day. You remember Trump got shot in the ear, man. Somebody tried to kill that guy. Twice now. There's been assassination attempts on him. So, a new guy, Matt, a friend of Patricia's, who I've met, he's a real nice guy. He's a pretty young guy. I think he's like 26 years old. He's taken over the channel. He's been doing the gear, the battle box things. And he's also taking the gear out into the forest and using it, which I think is an excellent idea. That's what I would be doing. But he's been doing this guest thing, so he'll have a guest come on and do a review of the Battle Box gear. And there's she's asked me to do it. It's got to be okay with him, so she's going to ask him today. But the whole point of that is, I called her to let her know I'll probably be around. If I'm around, yes, I'm willing to do a Battle Box review, and I think it would be fun to help his channel out, and his channel help my channel out, and do that. YouTube cross-pollination. That's going to be the title of this video, voting and YouTube cross-pollination, because I just also sent an email to Dalton from Pole Barn Garage. No guarantees on this. I spoke with Dalton exclusively in Tucson at the Duct Tape Drags. We had maybe 5 minutes, me and him one-on-one, just talking about stuff. I gave him some gear, like some car parts I brought with me. And really, really, as you would expect, he's the guy he is on screen, which is why his channel's doing so well, which is similar to me. You know, if you meet me out, I'm the same guy you see here talking to you. And I wrote him a note because he said he was going to be back in a month, which means a couple weeks from now, to the Tucson area to pick up his car that he left there. So I proposed like a meetup where maybe we could do a casual conversation / interview between the two of us. And so I'm gonna try hard to make that happen. I'll probably reach out to his lady there on Instagram, because she and I got along well and talked for quite a while, a couple times at the Duct Tape Drags. And so for you and for me, because I like the guy, I'm hoping we could put something together and hang out and have a fun, entertaining video together. So hopefully that'll happen. And just to put it out there, if you are one of my subscribers and you know, you have some interesting story that you want to relay to me, and maybe you think my viewers would find it interesting, or you have your own channel and the content is somewhat similar, or not, but you're a cool person and we get along, I'd rather meet you first. And let's say you're going to be in Tacoma, hit me up, you know, Mike at MikeZDesign.com. I'm always open for doing an impromptu chat. It could be a 5-minute conversation that I can make a separate video for and put it up here in the channel. Because honestly, I would prefer to have the channel do more of that, where I'm talking to other people and exposing my subscribers to other interesting human beings that are doing cool stuff, that are cool and quirky. Maybe they have their own channel. And that's what it's all about. That's what this life is about, right? Talking to other human beings, discussing differences, finding common ground, but really uplifting each other in this world, in this life, helping one another out, setting up things with this person and that person. And, you know, just for no other reason than it's the right thing to do. And it makes you feel good as a person. I say it all the time. Ben Franklin had a famous quote, "Do well by doing good." If you do good for other people, you try to help other people out, promote other people, it's always going to come back to you. You shouldn't be doing it just for that. You should do it because it makes you feel good. That's just the added benefit of it. And with that, I'm going to go for now. I'm on my way to Bonhoff Lumber to pick up some 8-quarter sawn white oak to replace the bottom of a door, the entry door at the house where I have my workshop. I'll show you that. I'm going to be hustling in the shop, making some cool stuff for sale, so keep your peepers peeped on that. And that's it for now. You guys be good to one another. Come back again. Tell your friends. I'll catch you in the next one.